Welcome to Mobilise the Spine, a gentle stretching routine designed to take the spine through its range of motion to release any restrictions and ease any pain. You don't need any special equipment, so just come to lie down on your back and become conscious of your breath. And lifting one leg up at a time, draw the knees into the tummy, have a little rock side to side, gently warming up the back. Keeping hold of the right knee, extend the left leg along the floor. Flex the feet, press the heel away and draw that right knee slightly out to the side. Make sure that left heel is resting on the floor, toes towards the ceiling, and just breathe into the stretch through the front of that left hip and thigh. And switching sides, draw the left knee in, extend the right leg away. Again, pressing the right heel away as you draw the left knee slightly out to the side, breathing into the front of that right hip. Relax the shoulders and breathe. Draw the right knee back in, squeeze the thighs into the belly, and then place the feet down so the knees and the feet are together. Take the arms out at shoulder height, and then drop the right knee out to the side into a half frog position. A gentle stretch across the inner thigh and the hip, and draw the knee back in and drop the left knee out. Let the leg be heavy here. Draw it back in, then drop both knees apart into the full frog with the soles of the feet facing each other. Draw the tummy in to bring the knees back in together. Now keep the knees together and take them over to the right. Turn the head to the left. Try to stack the ankles so the knees can stay together. Stretch throughout the body, neck, chest, down the spine, the side of the leg. And returning the knees back to the center, drop them over to the left, turning the head to the right, and breathe here. Return them back to the center. We'll do the sequence once more. Just dropping the right knee out to the side. Gentle stretch across the hip. Draw the knee back in and drop the left knee out to the side. Return it back in. Drop both knees apart. Full frog once more here. Be aware of whether one leg drops more easily than the other. Then bring them back together. Knees over to the right, turning the head to the left, reclining twist. Return them back to the center, take them over to the left, turn the head to the right, and remember to breathe here. Return them back to the center. Hug the knees back into the chest once more, just straightening up the spine after the twist. And come into bridge here, so placing the knees and feet at hip width apart, the hands down beside you, palms facing down. And then curling the spine away from the floor, starting at the base and then lifting up the middle of the spine until you come all the way up to the shoulders. Squeeze the buttocks to lift the hips nice and high. As you breathe out, you slowly return the spine back down, starting at the top, then the middle, the lower back, and finally the tailbone. Curling and lifting, pressing the feet firmly into the floor, pressing the knees away from you. Lovely back bend position here, powered by the buttocks, stretching the front of the thighs and the hip, and curling all the way back down. And just once more, lifting the hips, curling the spine up, little squeeze at the top, lowering the spine back down, vertebra by vertebra, and hug the knees into the chest. Just squeeze the thighs into the belly. Have a little rock along the spine to bring yourself up to a seated position, and make your way over onto your hands and knees. Place the hands under the shoulders, the knees under hips. We're going to work through some little hip circles here, circling the hips around clockwise and anti-clockwise, forward, side, back and round. Just do what feels right to warm up your spine, inner and outer thighs here as well. A few circles one way and a few circles the other. And all the way down the side of the body, maybe into the shoulders. And then just finally finishing off here. We're going to work into cat. As you breathe in, lift the head and lift the buttocks. Create a U shape with the spine, but try not to sink into the shoulders. Stay tall and long through the neck. As you breathe out, tuck the head under, press the ribs high, creating a lovely N-shaped arch with the spine. As you breathe in, return back down into that U shape. As you breathe out, tucking under, creating that arch. Coordinating the breath with the movement, breathing in, lifting the head, lift the buttocks. Breathing out, tucking under. Remember, keeping the arms straight, but try not to lock them out at the elbows. Breathing in, creating that U shape. And tucking under, rounding up. Continue on, breathing in, lift the head, lift the buttocks, create that U shape. And this time, breathing out, pushing the hips back towards the heels. Keep the chin close to the floor as you come forwards and scoop up between your hands. Breathing out, tucking under, pressing back almost into child's pose, and then staying nice and low as you come forwards, scooping up into that U shape between the hands. Tucking under, stretching through the lower back as you push back, and then coming forwards. Try to get the elbows facing back close to the body so you're working your arms. Just one more of these. Pressing back, scooping up. Splendid. Place the hands under the shoulders. And coming into your child's pose here, resting the hips back to the heels, extend the arms out along the floor. And staying nice and low, we're going to add some side stretches here. You're going to walk the hands over to the right and drop the hips slightly to the left. You want to feel the stretch coming through from the baby finger down the side of the arm, all the way to the hip. Remember to breathe. Walk the hands back to the center, and then take them over to the left. Drop the hips slightly to the right, and again breathing into that side stretch. Return back to the center. Come up onto your hands and knees for thread the needle. This is a twisting action for the spine. Placing the hands underneath the shoulders. Slide the right hand behind the left along the floor. Let the head and the shoulder rest down onto the floor, pressing the back of the right hand firmly into the floor. Breathing into that twist. Let the head be heavy here, let it be supported by the mat. If you wish to, take the left arm round into the small of your back, levering that shoulder round, deepening the twist as you breathe out. Placing the left hand back down, return to hands and knees. And then sliding the left hand behind the right along the floor. Again, let the head and the shoulder rest onto the floor. Press the back of the left hand into the floor. Find your twist. And then if you wish to, take the right arm round into the small of your back, deepening that twist as you breathe out. Place the right hand back down and return to your hands and knees. Tuck the toes under. We're going to work from cat into dog now. So as you breathe in, once more, you're going to lift the head, lift the buttocks, create that U shape. As you breathe out, press through the hands and push yourself back into downward facing dog, lifting the hips high. As you breathe out, return back to the knees, come to that U shape. As you breathe out, push back into downward facing dog. Feet at hip distance, press those heels back. Breathing in, return back down to the knees, lift the head, lift the buttocks. Breathe out, push back into downward facing dog. Breathe in, returning back down. Coming into that U shape and then pressing back into dog once more. Pressing the hands firmly into the floor, put the shoulders away from the ears. Settle your breath here. Let the head drop as you gaze behind you. Return down to your knees and step the right foot forwards to the right hand, placing the knee over the ankle. We're into a low lunge position here. Now we're pressing the left leg down into the floor to connect with the front of that left hip. Breathe here. I'm going to add the chest stretch. So placing the hands behind you, interlink the fingers. Lift the chest, and if you can, lift the hands slightly away from the body, but still pressing that left leg down into the floor, finding that hip stretch as well as the chest stretch. Placing the hands back down, push back into downward facing dog once more. Just settle your breath here, pushing the hips high. Return down to the knees and step the left leg forwards, placing the foot underneath the knee, settling in here into your low lunge. Interlink the fingers behind you, lift the chest, lift the hands slightly away. This time pressing that right leg down into the floor, find that connection and stretch through the front of that right hip, and breathe. And placing the hands down, push back into downward facing dog, and the head drop. Press the chest towards the thighs, press the heels back, a big stretch through the back of the body. Return down to your knees and come to a position where your hips are directly over your knees. We're coming into gate pose. Extend the right leg out directly to the side, place the foot firmly down and place the right hand onto the thigh. Extending the left arm up towards the ceiling, lifting out of the hip and then gently easing over to the right. Let the right hand slide down the leg so the shoulder is not by the ear. Feel the stretch all the way from the hip through the ribs, down the arm to the fingertips, just gazing forwards here. Remember to breathe into that stretch. back to the center, placing the knee under the hip. We're going to come into a back bend here, just a baby back bend. If you wish to, tuck the toes under, that'll stop you getting cramp in your feet. Placing the hands into the small of your back. Squeeze the buttocks to press the hips forwards and lean into your hands. Just lifting the head slightly, don't tilt it back too far. Bringing the elbows towards each other, opening up the chest. Just a gentle arch back here. The buttocks are the main driving point here. They control the work by pushing the hips forward to find that stretch through the front of the body. Breathe in, return back to the front. Extending the left leg out to the side, place the foot firmly down, hand onto the thigh, then lifting the right arm all the way up towards the ceiling, lifting out of the hip and gently easing over into that side stretch. And the hip through the ribs, all the way to the fingertips. Relax the shoulders and breathe. Then return back to the center, bring the leg back in, coming into that back bend once more, so tuck the toes under if you wish, hands into the small of your back, gently leaning back into the hands as you squeeze the gluteal muscles, the buttocks, pressing the hips forward. Don't tilt the head back too fast, just a gentle arch. Then returning back up, release the feet and then folding forwards into child's pose. Press the hips back towards the heels. The knees are slightly apart here so the belly can soften towards the floor. If your head doesn't reach the floor, then just place the hands one on top of the other and rest the head onto the hands. You want a nice supported feel to this final pose. Looking to breathe into the back, feel stretching through the ribs, and then just staying in this position for as long as you feel you need to. Become aware of the breath, the pressure between the eyebrows indicates relaxation to the body.